gonna
Hi
rock
everybody, it's me, Tova. I am so excited to talk to you tonight. Look, I'm even making a video all about it because I have this woman here who I want to introduce you to. Her name is JoniLowe, and she's really cool. Her story is really interesting, and I thought that there was a lot of stuff that she does that I could share with you that might give you real actionable ideas on how to tap into your muchness, because you know that is my goal constantly, just finding ways to help you tap into your muchness. So, but without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Joni. Hi, Joni.
Hello, Tova. Thanks for inviting me and having me here.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah.
So, I could tell your story, but I think you could probably tell it better yourself. So, why don't you tell everybody what you do and why you're awesome?
Okay. I'd love to tell everybody why I'm awesome. So again, yes, my name is JoniLowe, and I'm an inspirational speaker. I am a pleasure revolutionary, and I am a sensual dance expert. And it's also yummy good stuff. So the way I started was, I have two children that are in middle school and high school, but when they were toddlers, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom. And one day I was watching my favorite gal pal, Oprah, on TV. And she shared with me this idea of pole dancing as a means of women's empowerment. And
Pole dancing. Pole dancing. Like pole dancing.
At first I was like, oh my God, there's pole dancing on Oprah. Like, that was crazy. I needed to get over that. And then later that night, I was actually sitting and knitting. And I was thinking, wow, pole dancing. And I was really intrigued with the idea of the strength you need in your body to maneuver your body on the pole in such a graceful, beautiful, sexy way. I love the sexiness of it. I love the being present in your skin. I love the celebration of being a woman. It was all great. And in that moment, I declared to myself that I needed to do this and I needed to share it with other women. I've never had a moment like that before in my life. I'd never touched a pole in my life.
Were you a dancer?
I was always like, just, you know, you go out with your girlfriends, I'd be in the middle of the circle. I love to dance, but
right.
I took like class when I was a little girl. That was, and I had some fitness background. I had taught aerobics for like a year or two in my early 20s as well. But that's it.
Wow.
So this was a stretch, a huge stretch.
Right. You're a stay-at-home mom who's like, I want to learn pole dancing.
Exactly. Never touched a pole in my life. Not I just want to learn it, I want to learn it and I want to teach it.
And I want to teach it, of course.
So that was a big deal.
Wow. And so where did you go from there? What did you do? How does a stay-at-home mom in the middle of the suburbs say, okay, now I'm going to start a pole dancing career? Like, what was going on in your head?
I was doing research. I got myself a pole, of course, and learned as much as I could, just playing on it. And then I was watching different websites for different training opportunities. And I actually did a discovery trip. I went out to LA as well as Canada.
Were you worried what people might think?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
I was so pulled and drawn to it. And I felt like I was doing good in the world by sharing it with other people. And so I kept going with it. Now, fears, you know, struck in there. Of course, my husband was a great supporter and would always, you know, help me along and remind me, of all the good that I was going to be creating and the impact I was having on myself as well as other women. And it was wonderful. And I was really concerned what my children's friends, moms would think. I was like, you know, will they let their kids come visit my house?
Wow.
You know, what will people think of me when I say I teach pole dancing?
Yeah, that is.
Well, I was a stripper and I never was.
Right.
And, you know, what's that going to create?
But you did it anyway.
I did.
You followed your own call to your muchness. And you did it anyway. So what kind of classes do you do now?
I am now teaching a class called Molten Motion, which is hot, sexy, sensual dance workout that I've stripped the pole out of. And it also incorporates a little bit of body-loving coaching. So I want to teach women to celebrate their bodies, celebrate their curves, enjoy where you're at, be present in your body, feel your hair on your skin, smell the fragrance in the room, be completely present.
And you do this all through a dance, like a dance
Yes, dance
motion
movement as
routine.
well as conversation and coaching. And I do this, I actually have a one-day event coming up in November I'm really excited about. But I also do it over Skype, which is really cool. I've taught it to women in New Zealand, Massachusetts.
New
Yes.
Jersey.
Yes.
I actually took a class with Joni right here in my living room in front of my Muchness wall. And it was incredible. It was really an amazing experience. And something I would not necessarily have had the confidence to go to a class and take, but being in the comfort of my home and getting to experience it just one-on-one was really, it was empowering, and it was really kind of cool. Like, it kind of opened my brain and my body to new thoughts and new thought patterns that I wasn't having before, which was pretty cool. Tell me how you think and how you feel. I know you've been doing this for so long, and I know that you're familiar with the whole Muchness movement and the concept of it. How can a class like yours, I know how it helped me tap even further into my Muchness, but how can it help somebody, even especially like right on the verge of like, okay, I'm looking for tools to tap into myself? Tell me how your class might help them.
What this does, it creates a great foundation for yourself and your life, that you need to be your best self to then bring that out into the world. If you're feeling all slumpy and not so good, then it's hard to look at your face.
That's true. I know that feeling, that slumpy, not so good.
That was a good slumpy face. If you're feeling all slumpy and not good about yourself, it's hard to then play big in life. It's hard to then bring your best self forward. So this creates that solid foundation and creates a self-love, an abundance of self-love, that then you can be good with who you are and where you're at, and then you can bring that out into the world. So it makes you a better mama, a better wife, a better anything you choose to be. So again, it's creating that foundation and an abundance of self-love.
That's awesome. When I took the class afterwards, Joni, you asked me, so how do you feel? And I was literally speechless. Like, and I remember thinking I should say something. I like, my body was like so stretched and relaxed, and my brain was just kind of like also stretched and relaxed, and I couldn't even kind of find the words. Afterwards, I wrote a blog post, which will appear with this video on the site. There's a little bit of meditation and stuff in there, and it sounds maybe a little like woo-woo, but it isn't. It really connected me with my body, and, you know, we all have our body issues, some with how they look, some with how they act. I kind of had an aha moment during part of our session that I don't even think I mentioned, that I'll mention in the blog post, where, you know, my body is what it is, and with my losses and everything, you know, we all have expectations of the jobs that our bodies can do for us. And this kind of helped me tap into that in a really healing kind of way. And that was also kind of why I wanted to share you with my audience, because you can check out Joni's website. I think it's JoniLowe.com, JoniLowe. Again, there will be a link right below this video. It was really empowering. It was empowering talking to you and kind of hearing how you went from like stay-at-home mom who was feeling all right to I'm gonna find this thing that might be so unacceptable, you know, and judged by other people, and I'm gonna do it anyway because it speaks to me and it speaks to my soul, and I'm not gonna be afraid of it. You know, for me, that was wearing inappropriate daytime clothing with sequins and crazy shoes, you know, and going places and being like, oh, everybody else is wearing flip-flops and I've got on platforms. And maybe I do feel insecure about it on a certain level, but on the other level, I push through it. And that's kind of like what you did in a totally different context. And I talk about how everyone's muchness is different, you know, and it's like, once you tap into the concept of muchness, being able to find an outlet for it is so important. And you did that, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
so
I did.
That's pretty much it. Any closing words, closing thoughts?
Well, you can learn more about Molten Motion on JoniLowe.com. Thanks for sharing. Also, you can sign up for my newsletter list and get a free ebook called 10 Shades of Self-Love with tips on how to bring self-love into your life, in your home.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys are inspired by Joni. I hope you check out her website and maybe think about taking one of those classes, because I'm telling you, I did it. It was awesome. And that's
Thank
it.
you. Thanks for inviting me.
You're very welcome. It was good to see you.
All right, great. Bye.
Bye.